Hey guys, this is Ray for Phone Arena and you're watching our video comparison between the new Samsung Galaxy S3 and the Apple iPhone 4S. In terms of overall dimensions, the differences are quite visible at first glance. Obviously, the Galaxy S3 is the much bigger handset. It has a 4.8-inch screen, whereas the iPhone 4S has a significantly smaller 3.5-inch display. So the iPhone 4S has the benefit of the comfort. It's much more easy to hold and operate with one hand only, while the Galaxy S3 is not as comfortable to use with one hand because of its big dimensions, but it has the benefit of having the bigger screen, obviously. So let's check out other design elements of these devices. The materials used for both phones are quite different as well. The Galaxy S3 is built predominantly out of plastic, whereas the iPhone uses glass for its front and back and stainless steel in between. So it does feel like the more premium handset out of the two. It's debatable which handset has the better screen in terms of quality. The Samsung Galaxy S3 uses the HD Super AMOLED technology, which guarantees very saturated colors and great contrast levels, as well as viewing angles. While the iPhone 4S doesn't have such vibrant colors or such deep contrast, but its colors are somewhat more natural thanks to the IPS LCD technology that has been used. So if you're of the purist type, then we guess that the 4S might appeal to you more, but the Galaxy S3 does have the more impressive screen overall. When it comes to screen resolution, both perform admirably. The Galaxy S3 has the higher amount of pixels, but the iPhone 4S has the higher pixel density, so it is a bit more difficult to notice a single pixel here on the screen of the iPhone 4S. While it's also quite difficult to find any jagged edges or such kind of stuff with Galaxy S3, but just for nitpicking, the iPhone 4S has the smoother image. The Samsung Galaxy S3 and the Apple iPhone 4S are entirely different when it comes to their software user experiences. On one hand, we have an Android-powered handset here. It uses the latest version Ice Cream Sandwich, and on top of this you have Samsung's TouchWiz Nature UX user interface, which kind of changes stuff a little bit in order to differentiate the handset from the stock Android experience. Meanwhile, on the iPhone 4S here we have the good old iOS operating system with which is just a simple grid of applications. You have multiple pages with shortcuts to your applications, and pretty much that's it. On the Galaxy S3, on the other hand, you have these home screens here where you can have, in addition to these application shortcuts, you can also have these more advanced kinds of widgets which can give you real-time information, which makes it a bit easier and faster to get to some kind of information that you may be looking for, a bit faster compared to the iPhone 4S, where you have to launch a specific application for anything. Let's say that you want to check out what the weather is outside. If you have the Galaxy S3 here, an Android smartphone, you just push the lock key in order to unlock the handset, and you take a look at your widget here, which says that it's 70 degrees centigrade out there. On the iPhone 4S, you have to unlock your phone and then launch the weather application, or just put the status bar here and see the widget, which was actually added very recently with one of the latest updates to the operating system. But although there is now an easy way to check out the weather, it's basically the same with every other stuff. You just have to launch a specific application in order to get to that. And this is pretty much the basic difference between the two handsets. Now, another different concept that we find with the two phones that we have here is that the iPhone 4S actually relies on simplicity. It's very easy to just pick up an iPhone and start using it. Even your grandparents can use one. It's that easy. But it's been made with this idea in mind, to be very approachable and easy to use. Whereas, while the Galaxy S3, in our opinion, ranks among the more intuitive Android smartphones thanks to the improvements made in the latest TouchWiz version that we have here, Nature UX. It's still an Android phone, and it still has much more options and settings and things that you can tweak here and there, which can kind of disorient the user a bit. There really isn't much of a difference between the typing experiences of the iPhone 4S and the Galaxy S3, even though the iPhone 4S has a much smaller screen. That's because, as you can see, the size of the keys here is pretty much identical. Probably if you have very large fingers, the Galaxy S3 will be a bit more appropriate for you, but on the whole, when it comes to typing experience and the speed that you can type with, there won't be too much of a difference between the two handsets. The Galaxy S3 and the iPhone 4S are very different when it comes to their camera interfaces. As you can see, there are a lot more options available with Samsung's phone, so you can tweak the photos that you can take with this one, while with the iPhone 4S you can just apparently the Galaxy S3 is in the picture taking mood today. But anyways, with the iPhone 4S you can just enable or disable the grid and the HDR mode, which is also available with the Galaxy S3. So much more options with the Galaxy S3. If you're a shutterbug, then this phone is going to appeal to you more because of that. Meanwhile, when it comes to the quality of their images, the iPhone has a slight advantage here. In terms of colors, they're about equal, but the iPhone manages to capture a bit more detail in its photos. They're a bit sharper, and some things that are available with the photos of the iPhone 4S are actually not there with the photos of the Galaxy S3. In terms of 1080p video capture though, we liked what we saw with the Galaxy S3 a bit more. Both shoot very smooth video, the iPhone at 30 frames per second and the Galaxy S3 at 29 frames per second, but the quality of the image itself with the Galaxy S3 is a bit better, and it also exposes the whole scene a bit better, so everything is a bit easier to see. Both devices treat us to some wonderful music experience in their own specific way. As you can see, both of them show album art covers. What we don't like about the iPhone's music player is that you actually have to quit the music player, go to settings, and then navigate to music, and from here you can actually enable the equalizer option that you want to have. And the rest of the options of the music player. While on the Galaxy S3 everything is just accessible right from the music player. Here are the different sound presets and such kind of stuff. Also, the music player on the Galaxy S3 has some neat features like the music square here, which lets you choose the mood of the music that you want to listen to. But overall, we don't think that many people are going to take advantage of this specific feature, and so we'll end up with a great music phone, no matter if they choose the Galaxy S3 or the iPhone 4S. Certainly, we prefer the video watching experience on the Galaxy S3 much more compared to the one on the iPhone 4S. First, because it has a much bigger screen with more vibrant colors. The second reason is that with the iPhone 4S, everything has to go through iTunes, so you have to convert your videos all the time, you have to synchronize your device, while with Galaxy S3 you just connect it to your computer, transfer the files, and they're all there. On top of that, the Galaxy S3 reads all kinds of formats and codecs and such kind of stuff, while with the iPhone 4S you just have to convert your videos. So in terms of the movie watching experience, the Galaxy S3 has a dramatically better offering. Both handsets are very good when it comes to phone call quality. Their earpieces are very loud. We actually liked what we heard from the Galaxy S3 a bit more. Sound is a bit more on the natural side, whereas there was some chopping in and out with the earpiece of the iPhone 4S. In terms of their microphones, again, they're both very good. Almost equal actually, thanks to their great noise cancellation technologies. It's obviously very difficult to say which of these two phones is better overall, because obviously they're created for an entirely different kind of user. First, the Galaxy S3 is going to appeal more to the geeky crowd out there who enjoy very big screens, because they do a lot of various stuff on their smartphones. So it's bigger the screen, the bigger the screen, the better. And they also need to have the fastest processors, you know, quad-core chipsets and such kind of stuff. In order to do a lot of heavy gaming, although at least when it comes to gaming, the iPhone doesn't really fall behind, and at the same time it's the more approachable handset because it's smaller, more compact. It has the seamless user experience, which is very easy to learn. It's very easy to just, you know, pick up the iPhone and start using it, even if you haven't used one before. So this is our final verdict. Both of these two devices are great, but they're great in their own way. If you're just a regular user wanting to have a smartphone so that and you want to install applications and such kind of stuff, but don't really get too much into tweaking your software and tinkering a lot with various stuff on your smartphone, then the iPhone would be the better choice. Meanwhile, if your smartphone is like your sidekick or something like that, then the Galaxy S3 will be the better choice, because it gives you more freedom to use it kind of the same way that you use your PC, for example. You can do various different stuff like downloading torrent files, just copying various files to its internal storage and such kind of stuff, and of course you can install custom ROMs to it. So this was our video comparison between the Galaxy S3 and the iPhone 4S. If you'd like to learn more about these two handsets, don't hesitate to visit us at phonearena.com. Thanks for watching.